Welcome to Backyard Poker, a channel dedicated to expanding your poker palette beyond just Texas Hold'em. I'm Ryan, and today I'm going to be showing a very unique poker game called Scoop. This was a game mentioned in my poker interview I had with my father, David. I'll put the link to that video in the description below. This is definitely not your typical poker game, but still has betting and potential split pot winners. This game uses a lot of concepts discussed in my Poker Basics video series, including split pots, thorn cards, high-low, and required betting. If you're new to poker, I highly recommend watching at least parts 3, 8, and 9 to become more familiar with these concepts. I will link these videos below as well. There's a lot to explain to this game, so let's head over to the backyard poker table and explain how to play the game of Scoop. I will begin by explaining a typical game of Scoop. After that, I will explain some of the other more uncommon or very rare aspects of the game. To help out this time, I've invited a few extra players to join in and help out. Say hello, fellas.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
So the game of Scoop is not a typical poker game. It does not use poker hand ranks to determine the winner or loser. Instead, it uses points exactly how you would use them in the game of blackjack. For those not familiar with the point system in blackjack, here's a quick overview. All face cards are worth 10 points each. An ace is worth 1 or 11 depending on how you use it, which I'll explain later on. All the numbered cards are exactly the value indicated, so 3s would be 3 and 8s would be 8. So in the example hand here, the total points would be 25, 10 points for each face card and the 5. For this example hand, the points can be either 6 or 26, depending on whether you're going high or low. So that's 2 aces with either 1 or 11 points and the 4. So with this major change in mind, the game still starts out like a typical poker game, where the dealer shuffles the poker deck, offers the cut to the person on the right, and everyone puts in their ante. The dealer then deals out 4 cards to everyone face down to each player, which they can look at. The dealer then deals 5 cards face down to the center of the table as community cards. These cards are all thorn cards, meaning that players will be discarding cards from their hand when these thorn cards are revealed. This game uses required bet amounts, and the bet opener progresses to the left for each betting round. So the dealer will announce each bet amount for each of the 5 community cards and point to each player around the table. So a typical bet would be a quarter for player 1, another quarter for player 2, 50 cents for player 3, 50 cents for the dealer player 4, and 75 cents back to player 1. The dealer then turns over the first card, and everyone that has a matching value as the turned up card has to discard it. Every player must do this. If any player is caught at the showdown with any of the thorn card values, they will be disqualified and not able to win the game. If a player has more than 1 card with the thorn card value, they all must be discarded. After everyone has had a chance to discard, the first player to the dealer's left opens the betting with the required 25 cents, or he can fold. Player 1 puts in the quarter, and everyone else calls. After betting is complete, the dealer turns over the next community thorn card, and anyone holding a matching card value must discard that card or cards. Then player 2 opens the betting with either a quarter or folds. Player 2 will put in his quarter, and all the other players will call. At this point, everyone may have a different amount of cards left in their hands. You cannot try to hide how many cards are remaining in your hand. Any player at any time can ask anyone how many cards they have left. The dealer then turns over the next thorn card and everyone discards. Now we come to our first exception rule here in the game of Scoop. Since this king was turned over and there's already a king turned over here, the rule is that you need to have 5 unique cards. So what happens is the dealer puts this king on top of the other king, goes to the deck, and flips over another card and makes sure that it's unique to the other ones that are turned up. Now everyone discards, and player 3 will open the bet with 50 cents, and everyone else will call. The dealer then turns over the next card, and everyone discards accordingly. The bet opener now moves to player 4, the dealer, where he must put in 50 cents or fold. The dealer will put in 50 cents, and everyone else will call. And now the final card is flipped over, and players discard accordingly. The required bet now goes back to player 1, who must open for 75 cents or fold. Player 1 will put in his 75 cents, and all the other players will call. Now we come to the high-low determination. Each player must declare whether they are trying to win with the highest point total or the lowest point total. There are endless ways to determine high or low in a poker game. The key is to have all high-low determinations done simultaneously to prevent any unfair advantages. The way I've always done it is to simply use a quarter. Heads represent high and tails represent low. Each non-folded player would then arrange the coin in secret to be sure the proper coin side will be face up. Then they place the coin on the table with their thumb covering it. Make sure to get this right, you can't change it later. The dealer counts to 3 and all the players reveal their coins to everyone at the same time. And then everyone can take a few seconds to see which direction everyone is going. Player 1 is going low, player 2 is going high, player 3 is going high, and player 4, the dealer, is going high. Then the cards are revealed, and whoever has the highest points and went high, and whoever went low and has the lowest point total, split the pot. So player 1 going low only has 1 point with that ace. Obviously, he's going to win the low split pot. Player 2, who was going high, has 21 points, using that ace as an 11. Player 3 going high has 28 points. And player 4, the dealer, has 13 points. So player 1 and player 3 would split the pot. And that's it. The game is over, and the cards are gathered and passed to the left. Now let's talk about some other aspects and situations that can happen when you play the game of Scoop. The first is, what happens if someone loses all their cards when discarding them to the table? Congratulations! You just triggered the name of this game. You scooped the pot.
Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is.
The game is over, and your profuse smile will be the envy of your fellow poker players. It is possible to have more than one player discard all of their cards. In that case, the pot is split among the scoopers.
Scoop, scoop.
The next situation is when you have tied points for high and or low on the showdown. In that case, the high and low coins are still split in half, but any tied high and or low players would split their half accordingly. Another situation is when everyone goes either high or low. In that case, it's a winner-take-all scenario unless there are ties, which will still be a split pot. And now we come to the rarest scenario. Someone trying to shoot the moon. This is a situation where a player is going both high and low to attempt to win the entire pot. Obviously, someone would only attempt this if they had a lot of aces in their hand. Now, for the high-low declaration, the player would still put a quarter onto the table and put his thumb over it. But when the 3 count is done and everyone reveals their coins, the player keeps his thumb on the quarter and immediately says, "Shoot the moon," or "going both ways." Someone trying to shoot the moon needs to win both the high and low points. Any tie or loss in either direction results in that player being disqualified. In this case, player 4 has 5 points going low and 35 points going high. That would be enough to beat both high and low hands showing on the table, and player 4 would scoop the entire pot. Scoop does have a lot of different aspects to it, but it usually is a big hit at any backyard poker game. I'll add a link to a worksheet explaining the game in the description below. You may want to deal a sample hand out for new players before playing the real game. If you want to know more about this backyard style of playing dealer's choice poker, check out my links in the description below. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more backyard poker games in the near future.